So they will all join also online then.
Yeah. This is the same link, sir. Same link.
Bhaskarana, you can
Yes.
start introduction, giving introduction. In meanwhile, they'll join.
Yeah. What we can do is, see, everyone knows the ambassador. I will, of course, introduce. But, the ambassador was asking whether the students will introduce themselves. So this is the good opportunity before everyone comes, and then we take a lot of time. In meanwhile, they can join. So one by one, the student also can
I'll
introduce
play
themselves.
music. Okay, we'll play 2 minutes music. Let them join, then we'll start.
No, Lata. What I'm suggesting is, like, say for example, Divya. Divya, you come on video mode and tell your name, class, like that.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Introduce yourself.
yeah. Amoga Varsha. Don't feel shy. Yeah, this is Amoga Varsha. Yes.
I can see here.
Yeah. Amoga, you introduce yourself. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now, Anna?
Yes.
Hi, Anna. I'm Amok, and I'm currently 15-year-old and studying.
Which class? 9. And Your Excellency, this Parikrama, they have 4 branches. 4 branches in Bangalore. And Amog is from the Nandini layout branch, right?
Yes, Anna.
Okay. Then who? Jayashree S. Jayashree,
Yes,
come on. Yeah, let us see your face. Yes, Jayashree. She's a very good girl. She always does very well in my class. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jayashree
hi
S.
Anna. My name
Yeah,
is Jayashree. I am from 9th grade.
9th grade. Very good. Okay, now we can see Divya. Yes, Divya. What happened,
Hello,
Divya?
Anna.
Yeah.
I am.
We couldn't hear
My
your
name.
name. Yeah, actually, there are a lot of
My,
connectivity issues. Yeah.
you can hear me, Anna.
I can hear you. Yes.
Hello, Anna. This is Divya. I'm from Parikrma Center for Learning, Kormangla, 9th grade.
Koramangala, 9th grade. Okay. Then who else? Sneha, Sandhya. Okay, if you have some challenges in opening up the video, you can unmute and introduce yourself. Sneha, Sandhya, Raksha. And so we have Lata. She's the head of school of one of the branches in Jayanagar.
Very good.
Lata would like to, yes. Yeah, she's the head of school of Jayanagar branch. Lata.
Good evening, Anna. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah. They all will call you Anna, sir. Anna. And the lady teachers, they call Akka.
Akka, yeah.
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 Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Now we are about 18 of us. But okay. But Sandhya, why don't you introduce yourself?
And Deepika.
Yes, Deepika.
Deepika is here.
Yeah, Divya, good sport. Jayashree also, Amog, they're good sport. introduce yourself. But I don't know why. Yes, Neha,
Listen,
Suhan.
Anna,
Mohit.
Yes, Divya.
excuse me, Anna.
Ah, yeah. And Divya, what do you want to say?
No, Anna, it's not Divya, it's Deepika.
Oh, but then,
Using
okay,
Divya
Deepika, tell
mobile.
me.
Oh.
Okay, Deepika, what do you want to say?
I will introduce myself, Anna.
Yes, yes, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I am Deepika, studying in 8th grade, and I'm from Parikrma Humanity.
Kormangla. Okay. So, Deepika, you're in 8th grade, huh? Okay. And what, you are Divya's sister or what?
Yes,
Because you
Anna.
all are using. Okay, okay. Now I got it. Okay. You're using the same phone. Okay. So now we are 17, 18 of us. Are we expecting any more, Lata?
We'll start and let them join.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So students, today we are honored to have an ambassador of India with us. He has agreed to talk to all of you. And you know where he is now? I think you all have heard, no? He is the ambassador of India posted in Athens in Greece. So right now it is 3 p.m. and it is a working day, but still he has given his consent to talk to you students, children. Okay, so we welcome him, His Excellency Shri Amrit Lugun. Okay, and of course, I have, with his permission, I have a small presentation. But before that, I request Ambassador to say a few words to start his talk. And then when he tells me, I will show a presentation which will help him to speak more about his career, the different places, the different postings. But before that, I hand over the mic to the virtual mic to the ambassador. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much. So, am I audible?
Absolutely, sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, first of all, welcome all the students of Parikrama. Nice to get this opportunity to interact with you, and also their head, the teacher, Mrs. Lalita Selvam,
Yeah.
who I'm sure doing a wonderful job, and to Mr. Bhaskar Chakravarti, who has taken all the effort to organize this event. And unfortunately, I was associated with Mr. Bhaskar Chakravarti during my last ambassador posting, that was in Khartoum, Sudan,
Yeah.
which was there from 2015 to 17, when I was ambassador to Sudan, and also to Eritrea, two countries that
Yes.
time. So, and I found Mr. Bhaskar to be very active, and very,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
yes. So, I have, because you are all students, and you're budding, so you may be wanting to know what foreign service or diplomatic service is about. So,
Yes.
as many of you will be learning, just to make it very simple, is the diplomats also used to be in the earlier time. That people in our language, I don't know in what we call it in Kannada, but used to say Rajdutavas, where kings or rulers would send their emissaries, or they will send their people to another territory ruled by another king or another ruler, to maintain relations, to give feedback on various issues and to see how the two countries' relations can be maintained in many fields. And the sender state would give the identity of that diplomat to be the representative of his state. So, if, for example, a diplomat who is posted in another country, the way he is treated also reflects how that country is in relations with that government. So that is why we have and of course, diplomatic profession was also one of the ways. Now, of course, it has got more importance because till the end of World War II, most of the issues earlier, if we see history, used to be mostly settled by wars. Whoever had the might, would start ruling. We don't have the time, but there are many examples. But of course, diplomats there also used to play the role. Their role was precisely to see that the wars would not happen, and various issues would be there. And the diplomat's job at that time, because he had the ears of his own government or ruler to negotiate the place where he was posted. That to negotiate on various issues so that whatever the area of conflict or difference was there, that could be settled. It was there because that time was a world which was already in flux. But after the World War II, when things settled more or less, then then having war to settle issues became as and more difficult as time has gone by. And of course, then we had this Cold War era, where through there were two camps. From one was led by the US, or the Western countries, and which was capitalist side, and one was the other. So then Soviet, which we call Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, which is the communist bloc. So these two blocs, through their arms potential, were keeping an eye because they were in a way they were keeping like an order. I am also a tough man, and you are also a tough man. So if you do anything against me, I may suffer, but you will also suffer equally. So that was keeping a thing, and the role of diplomacy then started changing, where of course your job was to maintain relations, but then to also then expand, because then commerce started growing through cultural aspects. So various economic and commerce became very important. Language exchanges. So it became a very widened field. And also, when you are outside your country, then you are dependent on the protection and security of the receiving state. In earlier times, there were also incidents where, if a person, that was also the downside of the service then, that if a state wanted to take out its anger on another sending state, sometimes the diplomats would not, or they would be killed also, just to send. They are not against the person due to his personal reason, but just to say, he represents X state, so I am angry on X state, I'll do harm to that. But after World War II, in order to protect that, we have this Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations of 1964. I will encourage the students to go through it. Now everything can be easily seen online. So so if they can see, if that gives protection to diplomatic officers who are posted abroad, where they enjoy certain immunities as protection from the state, they get some privileges, etc. So that they can carry out their diplomatic functions in a proactive manner without fear and any intimidation or any restriction. So that is, and every country is expected to follow this code, because it was promulgated, or it was coded after a lot of discussions among the member countries who emerged after the world which was coming out of World War II. And UN played a very good role. The other important role of diplomats also is, in addition to the bilateral relations, which your sending country, like in our case, suppose it is India, and the receiving state is Greece. In the world, as you know, a number of multilateral organizations have also come up, to maintain peace in the world. Because after all, what is there? Everybody wants to have peace and order in the world. So the UN is, of course, the biggest and the most well-known organization. But UN has, I don't know, people has many bodies like we call UNESCO. Then we have UNIDO. We have UNISCAP. We have WTO, World Trade Organization, which came to regulate trade. We have WHO, which is now very, you see its role very much during this pandemic, the role of WHO, World Health Organization. We have ITU, International Trade Unions, based in Geneva. So, we have, and all the member countries more or less have become members of this UN. So it's only 193 now, and each country has one vote. Of course, then there are specialized bodies like under the UN, we call one again years of UN Security Council, UNSC. India became an elected, is now a member of UNSC through election this year. Elections were held last year. But there are 10 members, 5 of which by rotation, 5 were permanent. As you know, US, Soviet Union, Britain, France, and China, which were, they say, the victorious power of World War II. So in these multilateral organizations also, diplomats play a very important role, because each country who are members of these bodies have their representatives at a very high level in UN. Because many things like in the global, for example, on climate change, or who is at the definition of terrorists. So because to have a global perspective, these type of issues are discussed in this UN, where each country can place their own type of their own fears or own way of thinking on a particular subject. And so that when you accept something, then it is expected that each country, since you have agreed at a global level, you will implement. Another important one aspect I'll give you is, I know people may have heard this UNCLOS, United Nations Law of the Seas, which was adopted in 1991. Where the defining land boundary is still much easier, though there are a lot of still undefined land boundaries. The greatest one, like in India, we have skirmishes with China. We still have the Pakistan issue due to the border of Jammu and Kashmir. But land, you can say, okay, between this mountain or between this river, it is the landmark where you can define a land boundary between two countries. But it becomes very difficult to demarcate boundaries in the sea, or how much are, for example, India is, as you know, is a peninsula. So 3 sides it is has oceans. So India exploit resources in the sea where it can have its natural boundary, and where international waters will start. So this is regulated by UNCLOS. Of course, it's a very detailed document. I don't have time to go through it. But after that, the order has come. Okay, where you can exploit. And the best example of this UNCLOS, or short form, is you may have read in the news, is between South China Sea, between China and Philippines. So I happened to be in Manila also that time. But this China, they wanted to have a demarcation in South China Sea according to their own definition. We call ninth dash line or something, which was historical. Whereas Philippines, they are signatory of UNCLOS. China is also signatory of UNCLOS. They should follow whatever is as per the UNCLOS which the countries are signatory to. And so to the court, arbitration court, which is based in Hague. I think the courts are to do to educate on international matters is based in Hague. You must have heard also this tribunal for against these crimes against humanity, etc. So the court in Hague had given a decision in favor of Philippines, that what Philippines is correct. Though, of course, how much it can be implemented, that's a different question, because China is a very powerful country. So this is basically the role of a diplomat. And as an ambassador, of course, I present at the top level for my acquisition here. My head of state, which is in our case the president, gives an application letter to the head of state where I am present and representing, that is. So there is a ceremony where you present the letter of credence, and then you are like a point man for developing relations between the two countries in all areas. Of course, political is very much there. Political, security, defense, economic and commerce is very important. Culture with Greece becomes important because Greece and India both claim to have or can go back to the rich ancient civilizations. As you know, Greece has had very well-known personalities from the past. You may have heard like Iliad or Homer or Plato. These were some of the very then Helen of Troy. You must have heard. The Greeks, in a way, if you go back again, we don't have much time, and been contributing to the civilization of this place, the European civilization. When Rome was a big empire, Rome borrowed a lot of things which was from Greece. In medicine, we have, for example, Aristotle and another famous personality. We still use a lot of medical terms derived from Greece, like ophthalmology. Ophtha is eye for Greece, cardiology. These are orthopedics. So these are all originally in Greek language. Also in maths, we have this trigonometry. We use alpha, beta, theta. These are Greek alphabets actually. So, and then in India, of course, we have our own old civilization. A lot of this, the Sanskrit language, and so many aspects. So there is a lot of aspects where Greek and India can have common features, and as a result, the scholars from both sides have been trying to promote common features. For example, one of the very great Greek scholars here is 80 plus years, Mr. Kazanas, you will see. He has done a lot of studies on Indian culture, especially Vedas and all. And to just tell you, for this year, he has been awarded the Padma Shri Prize. One of the 4 foreigners who were awarded Padma Shri, Mr. Kostas Kazanas is one of them. So we encourage these people. I also honored him in mission. So in interest of time, this is briefly. I would like to say, if it's okay, if later on, if people have any specific question or observation, then I can perhaps answer. Yeah, is it okay?
No, very good, sir. Thank you so much, because you have given in very short time, very simply, you have given us the overview, the origin of Rajdut, the diplomat, the roles, responsibilities, all the various aspects that he is involved with between the two countries, the country he represents, and he is the representative of the President of India. Means you, as an ambassador, you are representing the President of India in Greece. So, I mean, that is a big honor. And then I know that wherever you have gone, you have done so much of work in bilateral, cultural, political, trade, commerce. Excellent. So now what I will do, sir, is that I have prepared a small presentation for you so that you are reminded of your career path right from you when you started as a desk officer. So we want to know, sir, some points that you may give, that what is the role of a desk officer and all that. But before I come to the presentation, I want to ask Lata, all the students to come on video mode. I want to take a screenshot. Yeah, Divya,
Just come for
Jayashree,
just for the
yeah,
photograph. Afterwards, you can go back to audio mode.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just for a
Just for
minute
the
you can
photo.
come.
Yeah, everyone. Sandhya, Sandhya, Kavita, Raksha, Amog. What happened, Amog? You were sometimes these children they don't have enough data. I think no.
Actually, they had other sessions also not today.
Ah,
Maybe that is the
what
reason they
happened,
have listed
Tasmia?
that.
You disappeared. You were there. Ah, okay. Amog, Amog. Okay, one, two. I'm taking yes, Amog. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking a screenshot. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So now I will present a small presentation PPT, which I have done for
Before,
His Excellency.
before that, just one aspect,
Yes, yes,
he
please, sir, please, sir.
having
Yes,
in mind how does one get into the diplomatic service?
yes, 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 yes. I would
So
have
I
anyway
think
asked you, but then, yeah, yeah. Please.
I mean, people know very well now. This Union Public Service Commission (UPSC), they
Yes,
conduct civil services exam this year, which is a multi-story, multi-layered examination, starting from preliminary to to mains, then interview, etc. So basically, anybody wanting to join, and I'm talking about the Group A service, you join directly class one, like you people must be familiar with Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Revenue Service. So we all come through the common exam. So basically, you appear in the exam, and depending on your rank and choice, you get the service. So naturally, the higher you are ranked, the more choices you have, as you go down the line. So this is the way. And in addition to that, people also in the government of India, and Indian Foreign Service is a purely central service, which of course now we have representation in the state in other. In Bangalore, people must be familiar with the regional passport office. Or now we are doing, when I was protector of immigrants before here, we opened a protector of immigrants office in Bangalore, right, of the passport office. So those are also manned by people from our Ministry of External Affairs. But there are also at the group, you can say C level, there are also government conducts a common exam, we call assistant exam, or now it is called assistant section officers exam. Again, depending on your rank, etc., you can choose. There are Central Secretariat Service, Armed Force Defense Secretariat Service, Indian Information Service, yeah, of course. Then Diplomatic Service is one of them. So, and from there also, through promotion, then people go up. So this is where it goes. Yeah.
right. Okay. So I hope children, students, you have noted down whatever sir is saying, because in the next class I will have a quiz. I am noting down. I am noting down everything what he's saying. Okay. So now I will present you few slides. This is now we have got an overview of a diplomatic service. Now what I'm going to do is, this is specifically for Ambassador Lugun. This presentation is for concerning him, in the sense that I have prepared his career path. So, and then, yeah, this is of course my first slide where Parikrma Humanity Foundation, uh, which is a learning center for the children in Bangalore, 4 branches, welcomes you, sir, H.E.Amrit Lugun, Ambassador of India in Greece. So, everyone must note very carefully. Sir, I think, no, 1 minute. 1993, sorry. Let me just make one quick correction. Sir, did you start in 1993?
No, of course, my joining batch is 1989, and
Okay.
then we have a common, we call, after we complete a common foundation course for
Okay,
about
okay.
3.5 months in Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy of National Administration in Mussoorie.
Mussoorie, yes, yes, yes.
where where other colleagues from other services like Indian Administrative Service, Police Service,
Yes.
and Revenue Service, they also are there. It's a common, like a foundation. We call it a foundation course. So that was
Okay.
89, and then 1990 we were in this what we call our Foreign Service Training Institute in Delhi. So we were there for about the whole 1990, was more or less with them.
Okay, okay, okay.
And then, then we go out for, again, not to waste time, on a language, we get allotted one foreign language.
Okay.
In foreign service, you are supposed to learn one more language, which is given. Of course, these language are mostly who are in addition to English are well spoken widely. For example, French, Arabic,
French, yeah.
Russian,
Yes.
Spanish. Whole
Okay.
Latin America speaks Spanish.
Yes.
But of course, there are other also languages which are time to time people go for example, like Japanese or Portuguese, because Portuguese is also spoken in Brazil, Portugal, etc. Or Chinese. Yeah, Chinese is a very important language. Russian is there. So, because earlier Russian had a very big influence. So my language was French.
Okay. Okay, sir.
But then, initially I had some physical ailment that time. Of course, by God's grace, I was okay. So doctors had advised not to go for my language posting that time. So I stayed back and was doing my language from Delhi, and I was half day also working with Latin America and Caribbean language for that time. Till then, we have to give an exams we call conducted by the language exam for example, in my case was French. So that is conducted by Ministry of Defense. So after I gave the exam, then I was posted as in the India in ITEC cell, Ministry of External Affairs.
Okay. Okay. Okay, but sir, may I ask you, do all the foreign service candidates, diplomats, they go through that Indian Defense Academy, which you did?
No, Indian Defense person, that there is a Foreign Service Institute of them. They conduct whether you do in French, even if you are doing outside the language.
Yes.
Most, I am an exception that way. Most of the people do their language because you learn the language better when you're in that environment. Like for example, for Arabic, most of the people go to Cairo. You have the American University. French, of course, most favorite destination is Paris. Some people even have been sent to Brussels. For Russian, of course, Moscow. For Chinese, people were going to Hong Kong. So Spanish, Madrid could be Mexico. Mexico is something like that. So the exam time of exam is the question paper and everything is set by this foreign language institute, foreign language institute of Ministry of Defense. So that there is
Okay. I see. So then you were at the ITEC department.
yeah.
This
So
Indian. Yes.
so unlike my overwhelming colleagues, I because of my medical case, I continue to stay in India. Yeah.
Right. Because I remember, sir, this ITEC is a big program, especially in Africa. Because when you were in the ambassador in Sudan, that time I got to know about the ITEC program. You had sent so many Sudanese, especially from the government and all that, to do professional courses in India.
Yes, ITEC fortunately had started when India was still developing by 1964, in fact, very soon after independence. Because the then Prime Minister, Mr. Nehru, as you know, he believed in forging relationships and whatever India had at that time to share. So in ITEC, the full form is Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation. It is mainly, of course, focused to developing countries, especially countries in Africa and Asia who were, that was the period when most of the countries were becoming free from their colonial past. So India, whatever they can share in terms of development, technology, especially through training program, why not share? So they were totally funded by government of India. And incidentally, when I was there in ITEC, it was a very crucial time because under the new government of that time, Simha Rao, India had started up. Before that we were a closed country. If people will go to history, most of the students did not live at that time, perhaps, but we lived through that period. So the norms of ITEC, to gear it to the new situation, where India was opening up more interaction with the world, to how to make the terms and conditions of ITEC to better suit the changing environment was there. So that was an interesting phase, and we also said India is now economically also becoming better. So we should better make it. We should make it more attractive, by increasing, for example, the scholarship rate. Then people coming, and we were targeting people who had already joined at the junior management level. So the idea was, these people will go back, have a glimpse of India, and becomes friend of India wherever they go. So that was the idea. And the ITEC has grown now. We have a lot of projects also under ITEC.
Yes. Correct. So then, So then we go ahead with the next. Your first posting abroad, I think, was as second secretary in Doha, capital of Qatar. Am I right, sir? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Doha, two aspects are very outstanding. One of them, of course, I was in the Gulf, and Gulf we have a huge Indian community. So first of all, one did not feel you were out of India, except of course time. And the Indian community kept you in. And I was also a little bit handling consular affairs in the Indian community.
Yes.
So it was good. For my personal point of view, it was another good thing to remember is our son Abhinav was born there in 1998.
Okay. Abhinav,
He's now completed his engineering. He's now going.
Yes.
So, Mr.
So now I think Abhinav is going to do masters, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So I didn't know this. He was born in Doha. Fine. Then, Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Doha. One more aspect I would just like to touch is that because always remember, because the day we arrived, the next day it was late in the evening. We were sleeping, and there was this coup, bloodless coup. Of course, it was in the same. Yeah, it
I
was in the
see.
same. Sheikh Hamad. Qatar is ruled by one family called Al Thanis. They're still
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Hamad, the father of the present Emir, of course,
Yes.
he was anyhow the heir apparent. When his father was on tour abroad, Sheikh Khalifa, we call Sheikh Khalifa is unfortunately no more. He died, of course, much later in another place, of course, not in Qatar. So he declared himself Amir, and but the things were, but he got a lot of things under control very soon. The other aspect is Sheikh Ahmad, came to be very progressive, unlike his father. So he adopted modern ways. He started developing. The Qatar is now known for its gas exports. So because of
Yes.
that, it become very rich. I know next year is going to hold that World Cup, 2022 World Cup.
Yes. 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 Correct.
So that developments happen very soon. We are a big importers of Qatar gas from Qatar.
Yes.
Our terminal in Dahej in Gujarat, through this LNG terminal, and
Okay.
Petronet is a shareholder in Qatar Gas. So we saw that interest in time. Al Jazeera is another interest channel. Al
Yes.
Jazeera was formed when we were in Doha. In fact, we were invited when the channel was being launched in a rented building.
Okay. 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 So
Yeah,
Al
this is
Jazeera is really doing very well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you were there when it was launched. Okay. Very good.
yes.
And then from Gulf, sir, you went to Europe. Beautiful city, France. In France, Paris.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
So,
finally
so
landed in a
you,
place.
yeah, yes, sir.
In a place of whose language I had done. Again, Paris, of course, was a very big place. I mean, a lot of travel, people coming from India, a lot of administration. We had a very big embassy. Mostly, I was doing economic and commercial work. Was important, and also later on, ended up doing chancery work of the embassy. So the other aspect of Paris, from my personal point of view, remember is we used to have a lot of guests.
Yes, yes.
And people
State
had not,
guest.
but somebody recommending come because they would come, and if you get a place of stay, you end up saving a lot of and food. So we used to keep one room of our house always ready, for guests. So one
Okay.
hardly used to become vacant. Somebody would come as soon as that person leaves. There is somebody else to enter. So
Okay.
in a
I see.
way, we were also running a hotel. Of course, we were not charging
Yeah.
anything.
No, no, I know. So
Other than we
that way, sir, I know you, your family, they're very hospitable, very kind people. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the
Great.
second aspect is our daughter was born there after a second.
Okay. Anjali.
Anjali.
Anjali, yes.
So
Okay.
she
Anjali
is
was
also
born in.
finished her graduation, and she's doing a post graduation in psychology from TIS Mumbai,
Yes, yes, yes.
Institute of
Yes.
Social
You
Sciences.
told me. Very good. Very good. Okay. So then from Europe, again, this is, like in Africa, but it is more Europe, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, it
Algeria.
is Algiers. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Algiers. Also, the other thing is most of the people there speak French. Their higher studies are in French
Yes,
because it
yes,
used to be French colony, and lot of
yes.
settled there, and they had a bloody independence war. 1962, it had become independent from France. Also, when we were posted in Algiers for 10 months, there was no ambassador, so because I was a junior diplomat still. So we call the charge affairs, because the
Yes,
senior
Shah affairs. Correct.
for about
Yes.
10 months I was there. So that from that point of view, it was very interesting. The other point is that Algiers was just coming out of a civil war situation where
Yes.
otherwise again it will be a very long. But when we arrived in Algiers, by 6 o'clock everything would close down. And people would go indoors because that was fear was there. Where the
Yes.
blast, who would plant, nobody knows. But when we were leaving after 2.5 years from there, the situation had improved very much, and the shops were again getting open till 11 o'clock in the night, etc. The climate was very good, one of the excellent climates we found in Algeria. People were very hospitable, Algiers. They used
Yes.
to sing a lot of these old movie songs like Janet, you,
Okay.
though they would not
Okay.
learn. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Yeah.
And it's rich in gas, oil and gas again. Algeria.
Yeah, oil and gas. Okay.
Hydrocarbon resources.
Correct. Okay, sir. So then we saw you in Gulf and Europe and Africa, and then you came back to New Delhi
Yes.
as the director of Eurasia, Latin America. Sir,
The
I
first
wanted.
year-
Yeah. So my question. Sorry. You please, sir.
First I was in Eurasia for about a year. Then I had a sabbatical we call National Defense College. Yeah. So I joined that course in 2006 as a civilian. Of course, it is mainly for army, but it is a senior level course. And just to give you an idea, two of my course mates from army and air force, they ended up becoming the chiefs. One of the army chief. Just two chiefs back, Lieutenant General Suhad, he was my course mate, and the air chief who were there, Mr. Raha, Air Marshal.
Yes.
He was also my course mate, and in the naval side, course mate Admiral Sharawat. He ended up becoming the managing director of in Mazagaon docks in Mumbai.
Okay.
And we had also a lot of foreign officers also, foreign defense.
Okay. So this was what, mainly strategic studies or?
Strategic studies and all, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Strategy is always from the army. Yeah. Okay, and then Latin America.
Latin America, yes. These are all political desks in the Ministry of Interior.
Okay. Political desks. Okay. This is what I wanted to know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So, but this was also for 3 years, sir? 3 years?
I stayed quite long. We from Algiers, we returned, say, around August of 2004. That year also I lost my father. And to end of 2005, I was with Eurasia. Then went to NDC, National Defense College. After finishing the course, when I returned, then I was put in, say, from 2007 onwards in this Latin American Caribbean desk. Till I went to Manila. In Manila, I went to 2009. Yes.
Okay. Because after this, you came to Manila as the deputy head of mission. Yes. And so, were you in Manila for 3 years?
No, Manila, I was not in. We were there for only 1.5 years. In fact, my family, of course, had joined later. They stayed for only 1 year. Because, there is another organization. As I told you, one of the diplomatic service is also multilateral and regional organizations.
Yes.
These in Europe, we have this, people may have heard the European Union. So in then in Southeast Asia, we have ASEAN, Association for Southeast Asian Association. And so in South Asia, people must have heard SARC.
SARC, yes.
Regional Cooperation. Now it is that active, but till say early 2012 or 13, it used to be very, very active. So all the South Asian countries, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and Afghanistan are members. And its secretariat is based in Kathmandu.
Correct.
So
So that is this is your office
SARC,
in
yeah.
Kathmandu. Yes, yes.
So each country they post a director in the secretariat, looking after various aspects. So in director from India used to handle economy, trade, finance. That area which is the most happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my predecessor, his tenure was completing. So they had asked for applications. So fortunately and unfortunately, I had also given my interest, and my name got cleared. So so therefore I had to join in SAC secretariat. So Manila I could cut short the tenure.
Okay. Very good. Right, sir. Then we move on. Then you again come back. So this was your first ambassadorial position, right?
Yes.
As an
Yes.
ambassador, yes. But
Yes.
sir, this you became very famous because, of course, I mean, as a savior for all the Indian community, you had organized evacuation during the war for all the Indians back home. So that is definitely written in golden words in the annals of history. And not only Indians, even all different kinds of foreigners. So
Yeah,
tell
we
us something about that, sir.
46 countries nationals we evacuated, because ours was the only evacuation which went on such a scale, or could also do. And of course, it is easy to say evacuation, but in a war-like situation, the authority structures are very diffused. Some territories are controlled by this warlord. It is not that in a normal country you go and talk to the prime minister, president. Even if there is a prime minister at that time, his rich or his control does not go beyond a certain point. Who will listen to him? Who will or to maintain or to talk to? It will be a very big detailed thing. Some of these warlords, and of course, the goodwill, and Yemen also has a very tribal society where this
Yes.
shapes,
Yes.
the tribal leaders are very, very powerful. So
Yes.
in the relation to take that helps. Yemen, another important very aspect while evacuation is we had a lot of these nurses, about more than 2,000 nurses, or actually 99
Yes. Yes.
are
Correct.
ladies.
Correct.
So
Yes.
they
Yes. Yes.
take them out, and
Mainly from Kerala.
mainly from Kerala and southern part,
Yes.
Kerala.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
The overwhelming, say 85 to 90%, of course, Kerala. So
Yeah.
you would calls from the Kerala chief minister, and if you look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and those hospitals would be also reluctant, because in a war-like situation, you get a lot of injuries where people are.
Yes.
The hospital needs manpower. So it was a challenging. I have managed a
Yes. Yes. Yes.
big story. I would not like to go there. Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Correct. Correct.
so
So, but then we were happy that after Yemen, you came to Sudan, and that is where we met. Sir, do you
yes,
remember this photograph on the left? I
yeah,
had ta-
you
I
came
had
first
taken
time.
this.
Yeah,
Yes.
you came
Yeah.
first time.
On your first day in office, I came and took this photograph.
Yes, yes,
And
yes, yes. You must
yes, yes.
remember that.
Correct, correct. And much later then, here you are taking the guard of honor from the Sudanese president. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
before
Presidential guard of
as I mentioned, you present the letter of credence.
correct, correct. That picture also I
Yes.
have where you are presenting. Yes, I also have that picture.
So
Yes,
that is the so
correct, correct.
about you in Sudan, Mr. Bhaskar, you would be more better way to say what was it. Yeah.
No, sir. I mean, really, we enjoyed our stay together. I mean, again, I mean, I saw honestly, I in Sudan during my 15 years of tenure, I have seen many ambassadors, but you were so nice to all the community, Indian community, Sudanese community. You were loved by all because of your nature, your behavior, your attitude. Thank you very much. Okay,
And
so
also,
but
also used to travel to Eritrea.
we
Also used to
wanted you to stay for longer time in Sudan, but only 2 years you stayed.
slightly more than that. Slightly more
Acha,
than
yeah, yeah, 2.5, I think, no, 3 years.
no, 2 years, 1 or 2 months, because we had joined in August 2015, and
Uh-huh.
I lived in November 2017. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
And then used to go to Eritrea also sometime, because Eritrea
Yes. That is why I've written, yes. Eritrea, yes. From
from
Sudan, you used to cover Eritrea also, yes. Very good.
we have an
Those
embassy now in Eritrea. Now we have an embassy in Eritrea now. We are
okay,
working.
now you have an embassy. Okay.
Yes.
Correct. Very good. And then after Sudan, sir, you came back to New Delhi, Ministry of External Affairs. And I remember I went to your office and met you. And this card you gave me. So that this was a new designation title for me, Protector General of Emigrants and Additional Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs. Protector
Yes.
General of Emigrants. So were you the first Protector General of Emigrants, or
No. That's it, Baba. This we have this Immigration Act of
okay.
2000. 1983. It's quite an old one. There was during my time, there was a move to amend it. So it was basically not with External Affairs Ministry. It is basically people. It is in the 80s and all, where a lot of people started going abroad for employment, especially to these Gulf countries where there was this petrol. And because of and most of the people were semi-skilled, people coming from those or low-skilled workers, coming from the vulnerable section. So they would be open to all sorts of exploitation, by these unscrupulous agents. This still goes on now, but under more control. So this Immigration Act 1983, gives this protection, and some categories of workers, they have to take clearance from the for taking this employment abroad. And then there are a lot of also grievance handling of these people. So we have a protector of immigrants office or in various places in India. It's of course Delhi, Mumbai, Kerala. We have two, Kochi and Thiruvananthapuram, because a lot of people go to Chennai, Hyderabad, Lucknow, then Jaipur, in Chandigarh. And during my time when I was there in Delhi, then we opened the three offices, one of in Bangalore, one in Guwahati, and one in Patna. So these are the offices which are headed by called POEs, Protector of Immigrants, who attend to they have their jurisdiction of, for example, the person in Karnataka who's in Bangalore has jurisdiction over Karnataka and Goa also.
Yes.
So all the immigrants going, we have this recruiting agents there, licensing matters. So basically, it is due to that and to take part. So so it used to be earlier with the Ministry of Labor. Then when the government came during Dr. Manmohan Singh time, a separate ministry was created. We call Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs. We call MOIA for short form. So they had a separate minister. Minister Jagdish Titler was the first one. Then we had Mr. Vayala Ravi, who was the minister.
Yes. Correct. Yeah, from Kerala. Yes.
And so it was not part of the Ministry of Affairs. So officers from other services, including IAS, etc., used to become Protector General of Immigrants. It's a statutory post given under this Immigration Act 1983. Again, you can go through this act. It can be on
1983 Act. Yes.
1983
Immigration. Yes. Yes.
And then
Right.
2014, after the government of Mr. Modi came, and Mr. Sushma Swaraj, was the Ministry of External Affairs, who is no
External
more.
Affairs Minister. Yes.
So Sushma Swaraj was given the charges of both the ministries, Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs, we call MOIA. And then
Okay.
after Sushma Swaraj, got the idea that why they should be two separate ministries. These most of these are common. We have this consular passport division, External Affairs Ministry. So she proposed that the two be merged. So then it's part of the External Affairs Ministry. So, in a way, from the foreign service, I was the first one to hold this post, Protector General.
Okay. Yeah. Correct. Right, sir. Right.
So this is
So from there now, currently you are in Athens, and
yes,
you told us something about Athens. So
yes,
here, sir, what I will do is I will stop and go to the students.
yeah.
I'll stop and go to the students because I'm sure they also have some questions to ask. Because later on they'll complain that Bhaskar Anna monopolized the session. He did not give us any chance to ask questions. So now, yes, Jayashree, Amog, yes, Tasmia. Tasmia is always the first to ask question. Yeah.
Hi Anna, I am Tasmia studying in 6th grade from Parikrma. Anna, how was your inner feeling while traveling from this place to this place, like a secretary, ambassador, like that? Anna?
Yeah, that's a good
How,
question. In fact, since I was a student, see why I chose foreign service is that we wanted to see places. That time, of course, when now we are living in the age of internet. Now we can see many things. But I wanted to experience places, see new things, and know different people. So, this is the service which gives you a lot of scope, and also visiting a place and staying in a place is a lot of difference. When you start staying in a place, you interact with people, it gives you a very good sense and it widens your horizon. So we had this natural interest. So I would also suggest that people who are looking for diplomatic service should also have that bent of mind. But if a person is wanting to a very one place person, he doesn't want to move this and that, so it can be a disturbing, a challenging way for him also family. So if you have this attitude of experiencing new place or interacting with people, knowing more about culture, other cultures, then it's very good. In fact, you want to have like this. You would like to stay in a one place. And also
okay.
in different places, it enriches work. Working, for example, working in Paris would be very different from working in say Sudan or in Yemen. So you also get to know the different working styles, methods, the challenges. Especially now, the world is becoming very globalized. So,
Yes.
so the more experience you have, it stands in good stead, to
Yeah.
understand why it is happening.
Amog, you have any question?
Yes, Anna. My
Yeah.
question is that how do you feel being an ambassador of India to different country, Anna?
Two, and then
To different countries.
no, they're
How
not
do you
only.
uh,
Uh,
how do you feel as an ambassador representing India in different countries?
no, of course, you feel privileged, but also there is a lot of responsibility on you because what you and your family does also has a bearing on the image of the country. Many times. So you have to develop certain etiquettes, but of course it gives you a lot of privilege also, to travel, to interact, say, with the ministers, with CEOs. So it is a very rare privilege, which I think no other service can give.
Correct.
So
So who's next? Deepika, Prajwal, Sania, anyone else? If there is no other question, then I will ask Lata to give her vote of thanks. Or do you expect some other people also, some students to ask questions? Come on. You,
so if I can ask the student something before Hitler.
yeah, please, please, please.
Uh, so, no, first of all, I would like to congratulate the students that they are getting this environment to do their
Correct.
studies. And of
Yes.
course, when if I go back in my time and when I was in their place as a student in their class, which was of course in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. So that time, of course, many students would also will not be able to imagine, that meeting in an online
Yes.
might be
Correct.
possible. There was
Correct.
no
Correct.
internet. Even making a phone call used to be that to ordinary phone call, and only landline was very very
Yes.
difficult. You
Yes.
reach family, if you are away from your place, your family, the only way to get in touch was writing letters, through a post
Correct.
office. Yeah. And you would get that letter after a week or 4 5 days, and knowing about
Correct.
other things, you could only go through reading of books and all. But now, you can get information on internet. You can interact. We can see each other. So many things are there. So people, what I want to say, now the students are more exposed, to the world, what is going on. The
Yes.
other, of course, is not everything which is being shown. People may have been reading about more or learning more about this fake news also coming, or people sending things distorted form.
Yeah.
So how, as students, what and how they look at say your place, whether they are optimistic about their future, and what do they expect to do, if one can speak. Yeah.
Yes, Amog.
What are their aims in life? Yeah.
Yeah, Jayashree, where is Jayashree? I think she's having connectivity problem. She went out, came in. Jayashree S, I think. S. Anyone else? See, the
Can you
messenger
please,
has asked a question. Yeah, Amog, come on.
can you please repeat the question, Anna? It was little unclear.
No, the ambassador asked. So that now this you have got this opportunity to interact, online virtual meetings, which we didn't have during our times. So now, as a student, what are you looking forward to? Means what you can speak about your ambition, your goal in life, something like that.
Whether you see a bright future for him,
Whether you see a bright future.
in any way, not necessarily foreign service. Say in terms of what you are experiencing in India, in Bangalore, so for example, let's say Bangalore is
Yes.
a big city. We have we call it the hub, like Silicon Valley. Yes.
Anna?
Yes, Tasmia.
Anna, like because of the pandemic, Anna, we are not able to meet anyone. Like casually, Anna, we are just meeting in online, Anna. But due to this pandemic, also our studies are getting still improved, and we are enjoying the online sessions, Anna. So we are getting due to this pandemic, also we are still being educated, Anna.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that is
education.
good. Yeah, thank you again. Due to technological development, you can, otherwise, if this pandemic would have happened, say, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, or even say 10, 15 years ago, when 4G was not there, it would have been very difficult to have online classes. But but let us hope that this pandemic is a temporary. Things will got back to normal. What it used to be. So then, what foresee your career or your going into life? That's what I was. Or people may have been that you are too early to think about it. You're too comfortable in your family. So, when you come to the college stage, then we'll give. So many times it also happens like that, which is also realistic.
Anyone here would like to say how they look at the future? Amog,
Yes,
Sneha?
Anna. Yeah,
Yeah,
as
so
technology is being advanced and there's a faster development, Anna. What we see as future city is nowhere far, Anna. I think we will soon achieve that state where everything is very futuristic, and also I hope that we will go to a sustainable development, Anna, so that we do not end our earth and we continue living in a sustainable manner.
okay. So he's very hopeful.
Yeah, one should be hopeful. Why not? Yeah,
Yes,
but
yes, yes.
the one should keep also track, the changing way. For example, when before this pandemic, many meetings, for example, and the government also diplomatic service, many meeting conferences, used to happen in a personal form, where in a hotel where people will go have media conferences or meetings. But pandemic forced many people. I'm just giving this one example to interact online. Of course,
Yes,
meetings, for example, where you are discussing very sensitive things. You would not like people to hear at a larger audience, or you have doubt whether your meeting can be hacked. But other, like meeting we are having, people now you are getting more used to having online, like that. So this
yes,
itself
yes.
this itself has changed, and it is very convenient. You can meet online, and so you save time of going to another place or going across this time. But of course, meeting people has its own advantages. So this even if things will come back to normal after pandemic, this many people, wherever possible, will try to have online meetings rather than personal meetings. So this itself will be a big change.
Yes, yes.
So people should
Right.
start thinking. Similarly, as he mentioned about environment, that's why I wanted to ask what they are thinking. Beside like that, now a lot of stress is there on electrical cars, not petrol cars, which
Yes,
are diesel cars.
correct.
So that is another change which we are expecting, especially in Europe. There is a lot of stress on going green, there is, or digital,
Yes,
etc.
yes,
So,
yes.
so these are the things which the young children should be aware of, so that
Correct, correct.
what was there even 4 or 5 years back has drastically changed in the
Yes,
in these few years.
true, true.
Hmm.
Good. Okay, sir. Then Lata.
Firstly, I'll thank you, Anna, for arranging for us to meet.
Yeah, yeah. My pleasure. It is always my pleasure to talk to the ambassador. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Anna, for spending time with us. That's also during this time, everybody was busy. Then actually, you have to engage the student with the meaningful learning. Like, they're meeting you. Maybe that will be their dreams. After listening to you, people like know how much you're in your life. That will be for them not to just think what they want to become in future. Otherwise, they'll think, okay, what I am doing. No, it will be a new people they're coming and what their achievement, everything makes them to think beyond what they want to do. Thank you
Correct.
very much, Anna. We thoroughly
Yeah,
enjoyed.
yeah. They will remember 10, 20 years down the line that, oh, we had a virtual meeting with an ambassador. So
Yeah.
that inspiration will
Maybe they will
definitely
say how
linger with
they
them.
become. Yeah, when they're saying like what they want, then that time they'll say what makes them to do that. because of these
Yeah.
kind of sessions. Thank you very much
Correct.
for arranging as well. Thank you very much for your time, Anna.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, I
Thank you
also
very much.
enjoyed
Yeah, yeah,
speaking
yeah.
to the young people, and I hope my best wishes, whatever they want to do in life, my best wishes to them and their family, and that all stay safe in this challenging time.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Welcome.
sir. Bye,
Okay.
bye, bye,
So I can.
bye.
Bye, Anna.
Yes,
Take
yes. You can listen. Okay then. See you. Bye.
Bye, Anna. Be safe, Anna. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
Okay.
weekend, Anna.
Okay. Well.
Happy weekend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bye.
Okay, bye, children.
Bye.
Be safe. Be safe.
Thank you, Akka. Bye, Akka.
Bye.